Shut up and sit down.
We're going to do some fermented kifla chips to go with a chicken dish of our chicken and chips. First of all, we're going to take our little vacuum bag, prepare that by folding the top back. Then our kifla and our mandolin. We're just going to shave our kifla down into beautiful fine slices. Open up our vacuum bag, take our potato slices, pop them in there. We're going to take 1% by weight of salt and add that to our kiflas. There, fold the top back up. Just massage the salt in, and that's ready to vacuum pack in a second. Something that's become really popular with sous vide is to cook grains, pulses and lentils sous vide. So we've got 100 grams of chickpeas, 1% or 1 gram of pure dried sea salt, and twice its weight in water. So 200 grams of water. Again, we're going to fold that back, vacuum pack that, and then cook that in the water bath at 90 degrees Celsius. We put the chickpeas into a 90 degrees water bath for at least 4 hours. If you can, 12 hours or overnight is ideal. You would use this method to cook chickpeas overnight to get absolute consistency every time you cook the chickpeas, and you're able to cook them into portion amounts. Next, we're going to finish our chickpea salad. Our chickpeas have been cooking for 4 hours, beautifully cooked all the way through. We're going to drain the chickpeas, and in our bowl, we're going to take some olive oil, splash of lemon juice, a tip of garlic, cumin, and paprika. We're just going to mix that around, and then we're going to put our drained warm chickpeas into there. We're going to stir our chickpeas in that, remembering that we've seasoned the chickpeas already in the cooking water, so the chickpeas will come out perfectly seasoned every time. Now that we've seasoned our chickpeas beautifully there, we're going to add cucumber, diced red chilli, Spanish onion, herbs, and feta. We're going to prepare 2 sous vide dishes out of a whole chicken. The first one is a crown of chicken infused with salami, which will be hidden under the skin of the chicken. The sous vide allows us to cook that breast meat perfectly without the salami becoming dislodged. So our first task is to remove the wishbone from the chicken so that it's easy carve. Pull the wishbone free from the chicken. We're going to do what's called bat wing. Cut all the way around the wing, carefully pulling that back off the knuckles and cutting that free. That gives us just the 2 meatier sections of the wings. Now, the crown of a chicken is the full breast, both breasts on the bone, and because we're hiding the salami under the skin, when we remove the legs, we want to make sure we keep as much skin as possible on the breastplate there. So we'll carefully come in there, turn that around, making sure we get the oyster off the chicken there, dislocating the joint and taking the Maryland free of the chicken there, and the same on the other side. Pop that joint, make sure you collect the oyster on the way around and take that round. We're going to keep that fat there because we're going to confit these, so we'll keep that fat with the 2 Marylands there for the minute. We're going to then take the back out of this chicken, just very gently around the rib bones and through the shoulders there, right on the joint, and then that should just snap out of the bird, leaving us stock portions over here, our legs here and our breasts here. I'm just going to quickly go through and remove the last of the rib bones so that we don't have any loose bones. So that's our crown of chicken ready to go with our little bat wings on the side there. We're going to finish off these legs. We're just going to run the knife around here. Taking the lump of tenderloins with it. Then we're going to quickly remove those thigh bones, just using our fingers to find the bottom of the bone, taking that bit of gristle. Once we get that through to where we're happy, we're just going to come straight through like that, pull that back around and form a beautiful shape out of our little chicken Maryland, keeping the shape we've formed with our Maryland. So if we bring that other leg in there, with the bone down. That will help hold the shape of our two pieces, and we're going to add that extra bit of chicken fat in there, which will melt while it's cooking. We're going to vacuum seal that and cook that at 75 degrees. Moving on to the crown of chicken, we're going to ever so gently, using our boning knife, carefully free the skin from breastplate here without damaging the skin, and we're going to just roll that all the way back up to the top, just ever so gently so that we don't damage the skin. We're going to roll that all the way back up so that we've fully exposed our breast meat there. We're going to make sure that that is now trimmed nicely from around here. Just clean that up. Then we're going to take the salami that we sliced earlier and we're going to layer that ever so gently like scales to cover the entire meat, breast meat of the chicken, and we're going to keep that super thin so that it doesn't overpower our chicken meat. The salami brings a touch of spice, brings a touch of colour, and brings a touch of salt to the breast meat of the chicken while it's cooking. This can also be done exactly the same using black truffle to impart really rich aromas and flavours. When it's done with black truffle, it's called veiled chicken. So we're just going to cover a very beautiful layer of that salami on there, and then we're going to gather back our skin ever so gently, pulling the skin entirely back over the salami to give us our concealed layer of spice. Just work that gently to make sure that the skin is smooth and there's no air under that, and now that also is ready to package. Very gently work that into the bag so that we don't dislodge all the work we've done there, and that will be vacuum packed like that. We're going to finish the chicken dish now. We have our legs, which have been cooked for 2 hours at 75 degrees, which creates a soft, slightly sticky flesh. We're going to finish them in the oven to give them a lovely brown skin, removing them carefully from all the juice in the bag. There, you can see the jelly texture that we've created in that flesh, and just a quick flash in a really hot oven to finish that off. To finish the crown of chicken, we're going to remove the crown from the vacuum bag ever so gently. You can see that the skin has fully reformed into place and the wings are tightly against it. We've heated an Oz iron pan up to 160 degrees Celsius and just a light smearing of oil to help us get some colour on that skin. I'm going to use tongs and hands here to make sure that that's well drained before we add it to the oil, and then skin side down gently into the oil. Develops some really nice gentle colour. That will go in the oven just to be finished off. To finish our dish, we have to make our chips from our little kiflers that have been fermenting, and we're going to carefully, in the temperature controlled control freak, hand fry our little chips until they turn a light golden brown. Once our chips are ready and the paper towel has absorbed the oil off them, season them lightly with a little bit of salt and a little bit of dehydrated vinegar powder that's often used in the preparation of sushi. It can be found in Japanese food stores to give a salt and vinegar flavoured fine crisp. Once our chips are ready, our chicken's resting, our pickled beetroots that we sous vide earlier, they cooked for an hour at 85 degrees Celsius. And you can see they're perfectly cooked there. To finish our crown of chicken, going to carefully come in and take the super moist going to carve this upside down so that we don't damage or drag on the skin of the breast, and then roll that back over, place that on the tray, to give that a quick flash before we do our final plate. Our little Maryland on the bone. Again, we're just going to carve that ever so slightly so that it's more approachable on the plate. To finish our plate, we have our broad bean puree, which we've warmed up. We'll place our confit leg and our breast infused with the salami, a small portion of our sous vide chickpea salad topped with some Meredith feta. To garnish, we have our sous vide pickled organic beetroots. We have some fresh sugar snap peas that have just been blanched and refreshed to give some green and some crunch. And we have some spring flowers. Broad bean, the flowers from the beans of the puree, the sharp bite of the rocket flowers for our chickpea salad, tiny garnish of the whole shiso, and a few delicate chive flowers in there to offset any sweetness with that bite of onion. Pea tendril goes with our little blanched peas, and our chips. Just a few drops extra of a Szechuan chili oil that just adds a tiny little bite to the dish here and there as you eat your way through the dish. Sous vide spiced chicken and chips with broad bean puree and sous vide chickpea salad.